Okay, what's up, guys? Rev Sauce TV here. Make sure to rate, like, and subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell icon. Everything to do with me down below. We're also on Rumble. We're also on Facebook. We're also on Trovo, guys. The video will be uploaded all over the place. Anyway, we need to get into this. We need to talk about Monday Night Raw for 10/2/2023. Again, tonight was one hell of a Raw. Now, I'm not going to give it a B++ like I've been giving every other show like Wrestle Dream or No Mercy NXT. I'm giving this a solid B-. There were some things on this show like the whole Alpha Academy. Alpha Academy should be looking strong, not weak. That's one thing I didn't like, them losing to Da Vinci and Kaiser. Bronson Reed defeating Cedric Alexander. Why are we having jobber talent, right, as Cedric Alexander? That's how WWE views Cedric Alexander. I don't view Cedric Alexander like that. I view Cedric Alexander as A++ talent that should not be in WWE. That should be on Impact, Ring of Honor, or AEW television. He deserves better. I think he could fit in right now with Swerve Strickland in the Embassy, and they could both be holding titles. I don't understand why Cedric is doing this to himself. I hope when this contract expires, he doesn't renew. And I hope he doesn't become a producer, because it's gross to me how he's being mistreated here. 2-minute matches ain't it for me, Chief. If you guys watch Bronson Reed lately, even Bronson Reed, I feel, needs to be fighting in these marquee matches. He's a big dude. Him and Otis, or maybe him and Gable, or maybe you have Gunther and Reed. Maybe you have something of the range, because right now Reed looks weak. Ivar and Bronson Reed, you want brutes. You want these challenging matches. You want Bronson Reed to go the distance. This ain't it, Chief. Going against Cedric is not it, Chief. Again, we started out Monday Night Raw with women's action. I love this. The brawl that led up to Rhea Ripley being in the rings, calling out all of her women in the roster, saying, come at me. If you really want this title, come at me. Shayna Baszler, Nia Jax. I do not care for Nia Jax. I have stated this. Nia Jax is an unsafe worker. She should not be in WWE. She hurts wrestlers. She is not properly trained. She was in NXT for the longest. How do you still hurt wrestlers? And her open palm strikes that she was doing tonight were very dangerous. They weren't fake. Those were like feeling like they were real. And she needs to work better. And I thought Jade was green. No, Nia Jax is just fucking awful. And I like the character of Nia Jax. I don't like her in-ring ability, and I do not like her wrestling skills. She is flat out horrible and garbage. Anyway, they did a recap on Becky Lynch here, and they showed off a wound. Too graphic for television. I didn't think it was that bad. They just showed off that her wound was pretty bad. She had a boo-boo. She tore on, I believe, on the table, or one of the moves that she did, and she got really cut up. Her skin was ripped apart. So she's unable to compete. They got to let that heal for a couple of weeks. So they have it stitched up and everything. And then Tegan Nox match was called off for the night. Getting back to Rhea Ripley before I get back, I'm kind of out of order with this stuff. But Rhea Ripley calls out Dom saying if he doesn't win tomorrow, don't come back, or there'll be repercussions to you. I think Dom is coming to an end of Judgment Day, maybe. And maybe JD Madonna takes his place. I don't know. That's how they're going to do it. I thought it was going to be Priest being removed out of the Judgment Day. She also yelled at Priest, said, what the hell's going on with you not being the ring general as I put you while I was gone nursing injuries? And he said, all due respect, basically, Dom doesn't have titles. And then she basically laid into Dominic Mysterio, and that's the way it went for that segment. We did have a sighting of Chelsea Green. I like Chelsea Green's character, but her ring gear, it needs to look more like BDSM. I like what she was wearing when she was talking to Adam Pearce during the segment. That should be her gear. Leather with the whip, maybe something cool where she's still a Karen, but a badass in a way, to where she controls, being like a ring general type deal, or like a dominatrix or something. I think it would work out perfect for her. I think, hot leather pants, maybe hot leather this. I think she would be better off that way. Maybe put a fur coat over her. Maybe make her into a Karen S slash badass looking, maybe a Dami Mommy situation or some of the range. Because I don't like the fact that she acts like a Karen, dresses up in leather, like lace leather stuff and a corset and a hot skirt, and then you don't have her come out looking like that? Is it too much for television when they said they were going a little bit more saucy with WWE television? And, on the other side, you literally have Toni Storm doing the same thing, but a little bit better in my opinion. I like both acts, but Toni Storm is dressing up in that hot Marilyn Monroe kind of leather corsets and things like that. That's what you want. That's what you want for Chelsea Green. I think WWE should let go on this PG shit and, pull the needle. I think it's time they do that, get a little bit more mature, a little bit more edgy with their television. I thought right then and there, Chelsea Green, I actually looked on the television. I'm going, okay, WWE, I see you. You're kind of going for the Dami Mommy, kind of what you do at Rhea Ripley, kind of vibes, but a little hotter. And then she comes out in this greenish black getup, and I'm like a cheerleader, and I'm like, no, put her in a hot outfit and have her go. That's what she should do, like the biker look, the BDSM look. Honestly, I'm sorry to point this out, but she's better looking this way and constructed that way. Tegan Nox, I don't know what they're doing with Tegan Nox. She looks like a Fruity Pebble. She looks like a Fruity Pebble. Tegan Nox was always a punk rock looking person. Make her punk rock. I don't need her to look like a Fruity Pebble, like glitter all over her face. I don't need her to be like, the Glamazon. I need her to look like a badass punk rock looking chick that comes out and beats the crap out of people. Tegan Nox has been so misunderutilized by WWE. They don't know what to do with her. They brought her back and still don't know what to do with her. Like, she should be your pillar of the future. And again, it should be Chelsea Green, her, and a few others. And and Dakota Kai. And I just don't get it. Dakota Kai got hurt. I know Tegan's been on the shelf for a minute. But again, this whole segment could have been better. Bronson Reed, again, I can't say that enough about Bronson Reed. Like, what are we doing with Bronson Reed? We're putting him in squash matches. That's not making him look tough to me. 2 to 5 minute matches ain't it for me, Chief. Bronson Reed should be fighting High Bar. And what are we doing with the Viking Raiders? God damn. Release these guys. You do not know what to do with the War Machine. It's criminal. It's criminal. Triple H, you knew what you were doing in NXT with them. And then having, Valkyrie Justice. I don't care about her. Like, damn, bring me back War Machine. When they were War Machine in freaking NXT, they were the shit. And they wrestled, they won matches, they won titles, they took names. And even when they were in singles matches, they were winning. This is the same thing they did with the Ascension, and they didn't know what to do with it. And New Day, they just really don't know what to do with the New Day. Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, what are we doing? Xavier Woods should be in your mid-card at this point. He's like a dancing video game guy now for G4 or whatever, and it's awful. I thought Miro's not even on television, and when they do put Miro on television, it's bad, but this is even worse. And Kofi Kingston, we went from him having a title to now him being a jobber, and then they win the match just to get their ass beat and look weak. What? And what are we doing with High Bar? It's like, oh God. That's why I'm giving this show a B- C average. It's things like this that make me sad. It's like they were great on NXT, and then New Day was so great 2 years ago. Why are we downgrading them? Why are they going from here all the way down to nothing? That's my whole thing here. I just can't say this enough. Again, in the second hour, we are, throughout the show, we had The Miz and Drew are we turning Drew McIntyre heel, face, tweener? What are we doing? And Miz is just there to be a glorified jobber. It's just like few appearances a year we see him on. The Miz is better than that. I honestly think they should release these guys. I think The Miz would do so much better in AEW, honestly. I honestly think Drew McIntyre would do better in AEW at this point. Drew is terrible. I don't care, like, the whole, I am a Scottish warrior, I don't care. You know, it shows when Edge comes out and he gets a bigger pop than you. It shows when I'm not trying to compare the two products, but, you know, watching Wrestle Dream and then going to watch this, Drew McIntyre, I just don't care right now for him. He is a snorefest. However you slice it and dice it. Bronson Reed, what are we doing with him? These are characters you should build to being, you know, in the hunt for a Intercontinental title, or maybe put him on SmackDown. You know, do something. I think a Cruiserweight title would be perfect in this moment because you have a few Cruiserweight guys that you could put in positions there, you know, within WWE. But anyway, again, George Kittle was wearing Shawn Michaels t-shirt and a Christian McCaffrey hat, was showing at ringside to do two other members of the 49ers. I believe the two others were Elijah Mitchell and Tumahafa. And again, Pierce asked if McIntyre was doing all right. He seemed off. This whole McIntyre thing is so stupid anyway. That's why I'm giving this a C-. And his whole interaction with The Miz was so stupid. Again, Ludwig Kaiser. We get into that. Just going through my notes. Xavier Woods defeats Ivar. Again, Ivar should be going after Bronson Reed, not the New Day. The New Day, and I'm done with the Viking Raiders every other week. It seems like that's what they're doing because they have nothing better to do. The New Day should be in the title hunt at this point, either on SmackDown or Raw, going after those undisputed titles. They should not be fighting here for throwaway matches, personally. Seth Rollins had an interview. This is where Raw got hot. Seth Rollins literally selling the back injury, saying that he may be put out of commission for a while after the match that he has with Shinsuke. Shinsuke basically comes out on the Tenatron after Seth Rollins pretty much brought me to almost tears, honestly, and Michael Cole. And then literally, no joke, Shinsuke cuts a promo, devastating, with subtitles, comes out, beats the shit out of Seth Rollins, and hits him with the chair over and over again. It looks like this match is going to be a blood feud. It looks like they're going to have three different matches between each other. Sign me up. Sign me up. I'm good with it. Sign me up. Again, when they make Shinsuke Nakamura have a good character, and it's legitimately, they said they were going to build him up as a powerhouse finally, that's how they should build him. I honestly still think Shinsuke should be in AEW, but that's just me because it looks like he would fit better with the AEW product, but I understand what WWE's trying to do. I get what they're trying to do here. And finally, subtitles. When they're speaking Japanese, finally, they're putting subtitles in when they're speaking. They need to do this with Io Sky. They need to do this with Asuka when she's talking. You know what I mean? Or, you know, what they're going to do beforehand. He kept counting 10. So it's pretty much going to be a last man standing match, which is going to be cool. It was a very strong statement. I wrote that. Strong statement. Strong segment. Everything to do with this was perfect. Seth Rollins selling this injury. And I think we're going to see Seth Rollins possibly lose the title here soon. I really believe that. Because I don't want Rollins to lose to Priest, because that's what they're going to go with, is Priest is going to take the title off of probably Shinsuke. That's what I think they're going to do. They're going to let Rollins heal. Rollins can come back, you know, sometime before Mania, have his, you know, maybe they do something with him there. Lynch in an arm sling approached Knox, and she told Knox, hey, when I'm ready to go, when the time comes for a fair fight. Knox was disappointed, so Knox was a little upset, but Natalya shows up as Lynch left and said Natalya was impressed with Knox and said was proud of her, and I guess they're going to form a, you know, is Knox turning heel? Is that going to be the thing? I hope not. Natalia, Natalia's a lifer in WWE. She is basically the Dolph Ziggler of the women's division. Um, Honestly, I would love to see Natalia release and have her run in AEW. Honestly, I think that would be cool. Tegan Nox defeated the tag team champions Chelsea Green with Piper Niven. Natalia ran out with her music to back off Piper Niven. Nox knocks Green off the rope, hits the Molly go around and Shiny Wizard for the pinfall. Natalia held up Nox's arm post match. Again, we have a Drew McIntyre promo again. Basically, Miz comes out, calls him the Batman of Monday Night Raw. And pretty much Drew McIntyre defeats The Miz in 3 minutes. Trick Williams had an interview. Cody Rhodes said he's going to be at SmackDown pretty much with one of the Usos, Jay, main event Jay. And they're going to show up there and face the Judgment Day before their match, ahead of their match. Otis apologized to Gable for losing their match and this, that, and the third. And Gable said Gunther, he peeked around, but when he peaks, everyone is going to know. So it looks like Chad Gable and Gunther are going to face each other one last time. I'm really thinking Gable's going to take that title. I think it's Gable's time at this point. And then the announcer ran down the Fastlane card, things like that. So next week, we got Becky Lynch, Tegan Nox for the NXT Women's title. Ivar and Kofi Kingston in a Viking Rules match. Raquel Rodriguez versus Nia Jax. And we get to the main event after all the announcements and everything. And this match went for almost 30 minutes. And Gunther and Tommaso Ciampa. Sorry. I got to be honest with you. This match honestly could have gone longer if they had this on a pay-per-view. This match had it all. It was perfect for a main event. I know this is a Triple H creation. Tommaso Ciampa is, sorry, my English, is a Triple H guy. And so is Gunther. And you could see a lot of Triple H in this match. And honestly, I was enthralled. At points, I really sat there and thought Tommaso Ciampa was going to win. And I knew they weren't going to have him win, but I was hoping for the best. And it just looked like when he hit his finisher and that submission finisher, I really thought for a moment there the title was going to switch hands. And they're kind of doing what they do with Roman Reigns, is keeping both wrestlers protected. And it's good to see DIY back at the end. But the kick to Gunther's arm, the stomp he worked over Gunther's arm over and over. And Gunther, man, love me some Gunther. Gunther is good shit. I do like Imperium. Gunther is the man, and Gunther put him to sleep, and that's it. That's what happened there. But as I will always say, Tommaso Ciampa, man, they need to push this guy. This guy needs to be champion. This guy needs to have Goldie around his waist. He is good shit. I think they're going to do that with the titles. I think when they introduced the new tag team belts, they did say they were going to redesign WWE tag team belts and have one pair for both shows when they do tweening between shows. I think it'd be great to put it on DIY, and then maybe you have them continue, maybe break off like they do the Usos eventually. And then what you would do there is maybe you form the Way that way with Johnny Gargano again. Maybe you do something. We haven't seen Indy Hartwell much. We haven't seen Candice LeRae very much. Vinci and Kaiser coming out. It just sold me Johnny Gargano was coming out. They're doing big splashes WWE right now because they're trying to compete with AEW with that whole Adam Copeland, the rated R superstar, and I get that too. Honestly, Ciampa and go back and watch. I'm gonna watch this match again, on YouTube, and I know they're gonna edit things and whatnot, but this match was the shit. Honestly, hands down, match of the week so far for me. Gunther is good shit. Tommaso Ciampa, man. Tommaso Ciampa still's got it after the neck injury. He could still go. I really, really thought for a minute there, Ciampa with the Sicilian stretch, I really believed that for a minute there, Ciampa was going to win. Ciampa is the shit, working over the arm. Some of these moves were so devastating. I was like, damn. When Gunther hit the table, I really thought Gunther was hurt. You could see Gunther was kind of bleeding, kind of. WWE starting to show a little bit more cuts and bruises and more stuff on television. They're starting to show more and more of it, and I think they're going for more of that PG-13 kind of. I wouldn't be surprised if Endeavor, with this new deal, has them do more, PG-13 shit. So I wouldn't be surprised. Anyway, this show is a B- C average show. I didn't mind it. It was pretty good in itself. Match of the night, Gunther for sure. Gunther and Tommaso Ciampa any day of the week for me. I would honestly tell you if I had to go, and again, the Seth Rollins segment was good. Honestly, I would say the Judgment Day segment and the women's brawl was pretty freaking good for the show. I honestly think Monday Night Raw should go from 3 hours to 2 hours. I don't think they need to do much here. They could do a 2-hour show. I know they want to put SmackDown 3 hours. I really think as wrestling fans, I think our minds are set for 2 hours. And I'm okay with Monday Night Raw if they decide to take it off Mondays to maybe Tuesdays and move NXT to Wednesdays, maybe. I'm okay with that. And maybe do Thursday night SmackDown like they used to have. I'd be okay with that. Tuesday night, Monday Raw, or Tuesday night Raw with, a Thursday night SmackDown. I'd be okay with that if they decide to go that way. I'm speculating, but at the end of the day, the show literally is a 7.75. It is not a terrible show. Some segments fall flat tonight. Bronson Reed, what are we doing? New Day, what are we doing? And the Viking Raiders, what the hell are we doing? Anyway, and Ludwig Kaiser, I understand why they're doing what they're doing with them. Anyway, Monday Night Raw was decent tonight. This is my review of Monday Night Raw. I will see you guys in the next one tomorrow for Tuesday night SmackDown. Tuesday night NXT. Sorry, my bad. I butchered that. Anyway, I'll see you guys. Peace.